everybody, welcome back. We actually have the bounder out and about a little bit today for a change. There might be some traveling plans developing shortly, so that's good. We're doing a little trial and error today. I was hoping for just trial, no error, but we have a little bit of error. Been working on that project for putting a new generator in the generator bay, and the project of cooling that bay properly so the generator doesn't overheat. It's worked perfect so far. That bay stays really cool. I'm surprised it's worked so well. But there's something I didn't take into account, was a power supply I use for the fans. I mounted in a different compartment, thinking it would be cooler over there for it, and it turns out it's not. It gets too hot in the... never mind. I should have mounted it back over in a generator bay with everything else, because that compartment cools so well. Ran it for about 20 minutes or half an hour with the air conditioner on, so the generator was under a good load. Had a thermostat, a thermometer in there, and I was amazed on how cool that compartment stays, the way I have that all together. I should have just mounted that other component in with everything else. So I don't know, it stopped working, and I don't know if it'll cool down, if it'll reset, or if it's done for. I might have to get another one. Anyway, I got to get back and get that straightened out. But we were going back anyway. We were just out to drive the bounder and take care of tanks again and fill the fresh water up, all that stuff, and trial run everything. I have done a lot of work with the bounder, with other things. What's this guy doing up here? There he goes. He must have got a phone call. I've done a lot of other work to the bounder over the summer, so just want to get out and exercise her, and we'll, recheck power pressures and airbag pressures, and probably should have done that before I left, but we didn't go far. Yeah, so I gotta get back and get this figured out, I think. Well, we almost had it, huh? He's saying we almost had it. I think we got it though. We got it figured out now. It really has worked out really good. I'm not too disappointed that we have this one issue. I think I can get it straightened out. It'll be a done deal. We do have company coming on Saturday. A fellow Pennsylvanian, fellow traveler, traveled with before. From Altoona, Pennsylvania, from that area anyway, and he's coming over Saturday. Gonna hang out for a while, maybe park his rig in the overnight, and then continue on somewhere. But we're gonna hash around the idea of maybe caravan together, maybe back out across the country. I don't know yet, but we're gonna figure that out. I miscalculated something. What happened was the power supply that runs the fans overheated, and then the cooling fans quit running. So here it is, the new upgraded Champion 3500. It has a remote start. Let's see, I've already broke it in. I've already run got it through the 5-hour break-in period. Have it all installed in here, and yeah, I miscalculated. I thought it would be, kind of borderline, that this was, I have fans down here to pull the heat out of this compartment, and it comes in through the vent on the door, so fresh air goes in and the fans pull the heat down out of it. And I just thought this would be kind of borderline, that, it might just, barely keep it cool enough, but actually it keeps it much cooler than I thought. I did put a thermometer up here. I just stuck it under this one strap. And last night, I guess that was, and ran it for a while under a good load with the air conditioner running, and shut the door. And it ran 15 minutes or so, and that temperature gauge never went above 82 degrees. which was kind of amazing because it was 82 degrees outside. So it's just pulling so much fresh air in there, and the heat comes out of this side of the engine, and if you hold your hand above it, I mean, the air is moving so much past there that you don't even feel the heat. And if you put it a little bit lower, you can feel the heat. Well, because most of it comes out right here, and then there's the exhaust back here. So all the heat's coming out this end, and it's really just pulling directly down and out by those fans. So what I was afraid of was if I put the controller for the fans, I actually put them in the compartment next door because I was afraid that this still might be a little bit too hot to put that in here, because it actually makes a little bit of heat on of its own. And I was just afraid it'd be just too much and the fans wouldn't get the job done. But I've wired the fans up over here, and then they come up to let's see, what happens is when a generator is running, it provides 110 up to this junction box, and then over to that power supply, and then it brings 12 volts back in here to the fans. So the fans only run when the engine when the generator is running. Here, I'll show you. On, let's start it up here. So what's happened is, you know, both the generator and that 12 volt supplier, they do have thermal safety kickoffs, or whatever you want to call them. If it gets too hot, it'll automatically shut itself off, and then it automatically resets when it cools back down. And that's what's happened. That's why the fans are running again, is that's cooled down, and now my fans work again. So it's definitely a heat related issue over in the other compartment. Okay, so I have that mounted in here, and there's just not enough air movement in this compartment. Yeah, the 110 comes in here, and then this turns it into, converts it to 12 volts, and it goes back out to the fans. And I do have an inline fuse. I checked that first, and the fuse was still good. And then I felt, you know, this thing was pretty hot, so it shut itself off. But now it's reset. But I need to move it over. I'm gonna move over into that other compartment, because it turns out it cools so well that I think this is gonna be fine over there. So I'll just unhook this, pull those wires back through, and hook it up over there. This will absolutely cool better over there. I also added, because there's 12 volt supply right here, I also added an hour meter, so I can keep track of you know, when to change my oil. So and that's all working. I got up to 2.2 hours since it's been installed. And yes, in this storage container, you know, it doesn't have any fresh air. You know, there's no ventilation cut in the doors like the generator bay does. So there's no way to get fresh air or for heat to escape. But I guess what I was thinking was, I didn't think that power supply would really make all that much heat. You know, I knew it would use a little bit, but it makes a little bit more heat than I thought it would. And I thought, this is such a large space, and then up there's you know, compartments to go the whole way through to the other side. And you know, the door gaskets, you know, the door gaskets don't seal perfectly. I mean, there is some air leakage. I thought, between the doors on this side and on the other side, and a little bit of leakage, that, you know, that heat from that power supply might actually dissipate, and then it might be okay over here. But obviously that's not the case. So I'm gonna pull that back out of there and probably mount it up in here. A lot of fresh air moving through here. I'm sure it'll cool just fine over here. That's where I miscalculated, that this actually cools way better than it does, and that doesn't cool as well as I thought it would. So we're just going to move that over, and we'll be good. Also, I ran the exhaust down. I got that flexible, there was a kit that had a flanged tube that bolts onto the muffler, and then just 1-inch diameter flexible exhaust tube that goes down out and comes out the bottom. And Comes out here right where the old Onan generator used to, so all the heat and gases from the engine are expelled to the outside. Yeah, I was all proud that this worked out so well. In this compartment it did. I mean, I'm like, I don't know, I like make a video of a partial failure here, but well, you know, it's not like these are typical setups. It was kind of a first, you know, you don't see portable generators installed this way to run. You know, they're meant to be outside, and to go through these extra measures to make it run inside. It's not a typical setup, so it's you know, build and learn. So I learned. So I guess these two holes were unnecessary in the end. I did have those unhooked and pulled back through. That's that one I had to cut it off. That goes to that inline fuse. I'll have to reattach that. And where's the other wire? Oh, the 110 from that junction box. So those are out. That's it. I think they're long enough. I might have to add. Yeah, they're long enough. I'll just have to unattach it and rerun it up here. And here's that 20 amp power supply. Yeah, it doesn't have a fan, its own fan to cool it. It just relies on air to kind of naturally flow through it. But it probably needs a fresh air source. So I think I'll mount this right up here. I think that's gonna work. And then I'll have to bring over the hour meter, mount it over here, and the bracket and all the stuff. I'll get that all hooked up over here and we'll be back in business. Welcome back to the next morning. I got things relocated last night, but I had some wiring to finish up this morning. So here's what we have. There it is. It's all remounted up here. I did make a new bracket just to better mount it. This thing doesn't have real good mounting tabs on it anywhere, so I kind of built one. And let's see, it's all hooked up here. There's the inline fuse for the fans, and the line that goes over and down to the hour meters all hooked back up. All the lines are re-ran and re-secured here and here. I ended up with a little bit extra slack here on this loop, but it'll be all right. And I do have some header wrap for this exhaust pipe. It's fiberglass header wrap. I guess it also comes in titanium, which is supposed to, according to reviews, the titanium stuff lasts slightly longer. But really, this cools so well, I was almost not going to use it. But since I bought it anyway, I might as well just go ahead and wrap that. It can only make it better, right? I'm almost to the point, really, to get it all back together and retest it. And it's gonna be another hot day today. Tomorrow's temperatures are gonna cool off. We're in for a stretch of nice weather, but today's gonna be the last hot day. So I'm gonna run this on a generator today. Unplugged from the garage. Just run it on generator for a couple hours and keep an eye on it. I do have a remote temperature, a remote thermometer that I'm going to put in here. It's supposed to be here tomorrow as well, where I'll have I'll attach the readout, the display on it. I'll have up in the bounder, and then the sensor thing will be, the remote sensor will be down here in this compartment. And I can set the temperatures on it when an alarm comes on. So I'll have to get that all set up, and that will alert me if something happens in here. If the fans quit again, the temperature starts climbing a little bit. I have that somewhat sensitive, actually, that it'll start beeping and let me know that there's a problem. So about this project, I made some other videos on it, including details about what I've done with the fuel supply up here, and adding these mud flap protectors to keep rocks from kicking the bottom side of the fan, and just some other particulars about what's all going on with this. I put them because it was kind of thinking through the process and some head scratching going on. I wanted to get really through this project completely, but 90% of it anyway, before I put it on this channel. Some of the details of leading up to this point. I did make, I think, three short videos on that on my other channel. If you want to know more details about what all's going on here, go to my search for Dave's Other Stuff. That's my other channel where I put little projects and stuff that aren't necessarily RV related, or they're just a lot of details and, you know, blah, 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 blah. So, yeah, if you want to know more, go there. So I guess I'll get on with this here and get this thing wrapped up, and I'll get the generator back in here, and we can run it and test it today. What are you doing? That's it. We're now going to call that a header. That's just not an exhaust pipe anymore. That's a header now that it has header wrap, right? Somebody's over time, people said about putting headers on the bounder. Well, at least it has one now. That's it. Straps are on. I guess we're ready for the generator. Okay, it's in. There go the fans. For the record, I do have 2 security devices. You'd have to know what they are and where they're at to get this out of here. It's pretty easy if you know what they are, but you know, it'll be okay in here. Warm up for a minute or two, and I turn the air conditioner on here, starting to warm up already. We're gonna test run this for a while today, and I think I got the problem solved. I'll go ahead and put my other thermostat or thermometer in here. Yeah, my new one's not here yet. Be here tomorrow. I'll put that other one I have in here and kind of keep an eye on this today. Hope it goes well. Okay, so this is interesting. I have a sound meter, or decibel meter. Is that what it's called? To measure sound levels. And they advertise this Champion generator as running at, in economy mode, at running at 59 decibels, which is fairly quiet. And I did test it out on when I first got it and was breaking it in. Yeah, this 5-hour braking period, changed the oil, okay. I checked it. And this is, even though it's an app on its phone, the phone, it was amazingly accurate. It checked, and they say they measure them at like 20 feet away, and in economy mode, that they run at 59 decibel, and sure enough, this read 59 decibel. If you got closer, it went up. If you got further, it went down. So I estimated 20 feet like I have here, and I was thinking maybe in the enclosure, maybe it'll quiet that down too. But also those fans, actually the 2 fans in there are rated to run, to create a 60 decibel noise level. So, you know, with the generator and both fans running, keep in mind they're in an enclosure now, so that would probably help quiet them down, and it has. Pretty nice. "52 decibels. That's as quiet. That there is as quiet as the Honda 2000. That's a famous little generator. Now, that's like the quietest generator on the market. It's big money. Actually, I think those run at 50 decibel. So 52 decibel with 2 fans running on a 3,500 watt generator, not a little 2,000 watt. That's pretty, I'm pretty happy about that. I went inside and I turned on the roof air conditioner on high. figuring, you know, the generator's going to ramp up and get a little noisier running a load like that big air conditioner. And surprisingly, it's not too bad. It just heard that car go by is why those numbers went up. And now it hears me talking. There, it's running quieter, running an air conditioner, than it would be if it was sitting out here idling. So that's pretty good too. Now, I went ahead and I stuck the thermometer inside there, so I'm gonna let that go a little bit. Give it a little while and see what the temperatures look like. Okay, so it's been out here running for about half an hour under a pretty good load running the air conditioner. Let's see how she's doing. That's pretty good considering it's 79 degrees out. That's only, what, 83, 84 degrees? Nice. On second thought, yeah, all's going well. Well, it was before, too. I think what I'm going to do is go ahead and shut the air conditioner off, let it cool down a minute, shut the generator off, and I'm going to wait till tomorrow till that remote thermometer. I'm going to wait till that remote thermometer comes in tomorrow and get that set up, so that I can just set the alarm on it. You know, you can set a min-max temperature range that if it goes above or below that, an alarm, a beeping starts. So instead of going back and, you know, kind of leaving it unattended right now and going back every so often checking this, you know, I could be in the garage for half an hour or something and something go wrong and it started getting hot and I wouldn't know about it. So I think I'll get the remote thing set up tomorrow and better exercise it for a longer period then. That way if I'm away from it and not checking it every 5 minutes, I'll be alerted if something goes wrong. So we'll exercise it more tomorrow, but for now I think I got it all fixed up. I think it's gonna be okay. I think it came out pretty good. It's gonna work. It's gonna work. It is working. All right, anything else really? Been doing some last minute, you know, it's getting late in the summer. I've been doing some last minute shopping and some other things for the bounder. I don't know what we're doing just yet, but you know, it's getting late in the summer. We're gonna start thinking about going somewhere. Might go across the country again soon, maybe. All right, thanks for watching today. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. I'll see you soon.